Hey, this is Eddie from Talking Shit. We got a great episode for you tonight, today, whenever you're fucking downloading this. Not only do we have one guest, we have two guests. We have Gene Pompa and Chuck Martin, two of which you will meet. But I just wanted to mention to go to our website, JimandEddieTalkShit.com. You can find everything there from our YouTube page to our Facebook page to donations. You know, you're the ones that keep the show running. Want to thank everybody for the donations. Thank you very much. Buy our shit, download our shit, whatever you do. And also, please keep up on the Facebook page. That's great. Like it, do whatever. Write those comments and stuff you write. They're so sweet and so nice. You're such genuine human beings. Also, we're going to be announcing a live show where we do it in front of a studio audience. Last time it sold out really quickly, so when you hear it, buy your tickets right away because it sells out quickly. And I think we're just going to go move forward with the show now. So let's get started.
Spaz nigger cock cunt fag.
Two douchebags on a couch. One's an asshole, one's a grouch. And relentless, all their mouths. Jim and Eddie talk shit. Jim and Eddie talk shit.
Hey, this is Eddie from Talking Shit. I am introducing the show because Jim again cannot speak because he still has nodules on the back of his throat from all the cum guzzling he has done. We went to the doctor, we talked to the doctor, and the doctor asked him, he said it was a yeast infection or something like that, or herpes or syphilis or some kind of weird infection.
I love cum.
Some kind of weird infection that caused something to happen on the back of his throat, but it is sexually transmitted, but it's going to go away. They have him on antibiotics and everything, so he'll be able to speak soon. Our guests tonight are, it's great. We've got two guests, and they're both very interesting, which is great because Jason is not here again. He is fucking absent. We don't know where you are. Don't come back, you fat cunt. You can't just not call in and not show up and not tell us where you are. Don't even think about ever coming back. We'll let him back. But our guests tonight are two of my favorite. They're Norman Cliff of the improv.
That motherfucker Jason better watch his fucking back.
If you go into the improv in Hollywood at any time, these two are at the bar.
Writing, working, mentoring.
We're the old Muppets.
So they are Gene Pompa and Chuck Martin. Hello, guys. How are you?
Good, man.
Thanks for having us.
I'm concerned about this Jason guy.
He didn't fuck a tranny. He hooked up with a tranny, and we all found out about it because a couple of the guys were there and saw it, and I think he's embarrassed about it.
This is recently?
Yeah, about a couple weeks ago.
Wow. Where was this at?
What was the name of the townhouse? Yeah, he was with her, and they were walking.
A black one.
That was unnecessary, but
they're walking out the door, and she goes. Gene's laughing.
Gene's high.
They're walking out the door, and she goes to him. I hope you like penis. And he goes, what was that? And she goes, I hope you like penis. And he goes, oh, come on. And she goes, oh, you're going to play me like that? You're going to be like everyone else?
Right. You do a very good black woman.
Yeah, don't be a bitch. You know what I mean? He shouldn't be bitching out.
He should have just done it.
Yeah.
Oh, you mean, so he didn't even do it?
Take it like a man. No, he didn't do
so
it.
Like, oh.
But he was upset because we all knew.
Is he Christian?
Beggars can't be Jason.
He used to be a Christian worship leader. He worked for a church, like a cult-like church, where he was the worship leader. And he finally...
By the way, church can always... It's cult-like.
Yeah, it's redundant.
Right.
He one day watched The Matrix and realized that it was a cult and then defected and took everyone with him.
Wow. What do you mean took everyone with him?
He made the church defect. Everybody in the church, he was like, we got to get out of here.
That's impressive.
I watched The Matrix.
So he started his own cult, pretty much.
Yeah.
The Matrix as a religion makes more sense than most religions.
Everything makes more sense.
That's true.
Like,
let's shit on religion.
Scientology makes way more sense than Christianity.
What? I don't even know what
it's all that like spaceships and aliens and stuff.
Right.
But my theory is we don't know that they're coming, but we know that this Jesus thing's imaginary.
Right.
So like this thing with the aliens, possible.
Yeah.
But the Jesus, not possible. So like when people are like, oh, this fucking crazy Scientologist, I'm like, no crazier than
God,
any
that's
other.
real.
Did you just test your mic?
I want to see if I can sound like the computer.
Jesus.
Gene, you look like Princess Leia with those headphones on.
I text Gene to see if he was okay with coming to the show tonight, and he said, "Yeah, I just have to pick out my shoes." And I noticed the ones he picked out are very.
Yeah.
Steel-toed boots, bro.
Yeah.
Herman Munster collection.
Any of these crazy Venice hippie motherfuckers trying to fuck with Gene Pompa.
Was that your thinking?
Yeah.
I'm going to Venice. I better look tough.
And wear a Letterman sweater.
Right. In case you might get a blowjob from some dude down
It
here.
could go either way.
Right.
Gene, you have my favorite thing about Gene. You're very funny, but the fact that you got bit by a shark is the greatest fucking.
I didn't
story.
know that.
Yeah, you don't know this?
No.
Well, kind of, yeah.
Yeah.
I got
What do you
nibbled
mean?
on by a shark.
Nibbled on. Well, they had a good taste and just
Sand
took
shark.
off.
Tell us.
It was a sand shark.
You got bit by a sand shark, which, by the way, every time I've seen sand sharks, people go, "Oh, don't worry about them; they don't bite."
Right.
But-
No, but if you touch them by accident, it's like blowing on a tarantula. It hurts them, so that's when they bite you. So don't blow on tarantulas.
When have you heard "Don't blow on a tarantula"?
That it hurts them? Wow.
Gene,
Really?
keeps covering his microphone every
you can
time.
laugh on the show. It's a comedy show.
Well, I don't think you think I'm bullshitting. People will get pet tarantulas,
Right.
and then just to be antagonistic, they'll blow on the tarantula,
Like a child.
and then the tarantula will get very upset, and that's when it will bite and it will hurt. And the same with a
Sand shark. If you blow on a
sand shark. If you blow on a sand shark underwater,
Here's a good news
Unless
for you
it's in a
guys.
local
You got a new
cafe.
Jason. He might be more retarded
Gene, what are you doing every Monday night?
for the rest of your life. It pays well, I've heard.
well, here's the deal. So that's all it was. And so I went to get a fishing rod and reel, and then went to pull it up, and I got bit, and then they sewed it up.
But like blood and
Well, here it is. If you want to see it.
Look,
No,
he's,
I don't
He's
wanna-
got a scar. Show the scar.
Really?
Show the scar.
Sure.
He's got a scar on his elbow. He got bit by a fucking shark.
and then the shark obviously was immediately drunk from the drop of blood that it got. The shark swam away and went, wow, Chardonnay's not bad.
Oh.
Holy,
Yeah, he
wow,
got
that's
bit by
impressive.
a fucking shark. Take a
That's
picture of that.
impressive.
Here's the best.
Relax.
Here's the best. One night I'm at the Improv, and do you remember Bill Bully?
No.
Bill Bully used to be one of the managers for Levity, and he used to hang out at the Improv a lot. And Bill Bully has a story about he was bit by a bear. He was chased down at Bear Mountain and tackled by a bear.
In the bear's defense, it's called Bear Mountain.
Yeah. And he got between the mama bear and the baby bears, and he saw the baby bears and went, fuck, started running.
A fat gay man.
Ooh, Bill Bully?
No, the bear.
Oh, the bear.
The bear.
Oh, yeah. No. So the bear chased
Shirt off.
Bear
running towards
bear
him.
chased him down and fucking like stitches all over his head, all over his chest, everything. Wow. So I'm in the Improv one night, and I see Bill at one end of the bar, and I saw Gene at the other, and I went, what are the fucking odds?
Yeah.
I've got a shark attack victim and a bear victim.
Yeah.
I need to introduce these two.
Dude, I was torn.
Did
What?
you talk to him that night? I think I put you two together. Thought maybe you could counsel each other.
We had known each other for a very long time prior to that, actually.
Did you know you had both been attacked?
No, that was kind of, that was new. Sorry. Here's what I want to ask you.
How high are you?
Do you have any
kidding.
more, do you have any more
Did you
Corona?
drive here like this?
I want to know how you drive and get away with it.
You know what? Here's what I do.
Where's
I have,
the pizza?
That's gonna be the name of our show.
Where's the pizza? That's a great name.
What? How do you drive?
I get a Starbucks Travelers cup, and I put either Chardonnay or vodka with lemonade, raspberry light lemonade,
While you're driving?
and I have a little refreshment on the way down to the venue.
How much refreshment did you have tonight?
Well, I was 07. I hit a breathalyzer right when I parked my car. 07, so.
You checked it out to see where you
Yeah, yeah.
stand.
You have your own
They,
breathalyzer.
he got out of the car and they had a checkpoint. He walked up and said, "Can I test it out?
Yeah.
Wanna
Can
see
I
if I'm
borrow
ready-
that?"
Ready for the show."
That's nothing. Yeah,
I did the
that's so-
Starbucks thing. It's the fucking I just did this like in New Orleans a few weeks ago where you don't have to, but I never thought of it. It's the most ingenious thing ever. You just fucking take your booze, put it in a Starbucks cup, lid. You're never gonna get stopped ever.
Yeah, yeah, and if it has a black interior, you can't decipher what the drink is. We have to be careful with if there's ice cubes.
Because they make sound?
Well, the ice cubes will be like, why do you have a bottled water? And because you just told me that was filled with water, and I see ice cubes in it. You're like, well, I like a tap water and also like a bottled water alternative. You can't really front
Oh,
that.
bottled water. You're saying
Yeah,
it's
so
the other
like
way.
when if you were to get pulled over for an open container, you're not inebriated, or you're at least under 08. You'll get an open container, which is like $100.
I just drink in street and tell them it's my first day in this country.
Do you do that? I remember I went out one night in New York City, and my buddies used to have gorilla suits, and we would just go out and drink in gorilla suits. And I was out, and the cops pull me over because I'm holding a bottle of Jack Daniels. And the cops pulled up in New York City in a red Cherokee with like fucking 4x4 tires and Harley Davidson stickers on it, and they just put the lights on. And I went, wow, that's the best undercover truck I've ever seen. And they're like, it's good, isn't it? And I went, you fucking got me. And the cop goes, yeah, I caught you. And I'm like, because I'm in a gorilla suit? He goes, no, because you were screaming cunt at your friend across the street.
Shit.
He's
And
like-
gorillas don't swear normally.
so the cop gave me an open container, and then he put the bottle down, and he said to me, your bottle of whiskey's behind the car over there. Once we take off, you can go get it.
Wow.
And I was like, that was fucking cool. Like you saved my bottle of whiskey for me.
Yeah, that was very kind.
Yeah.
I got not pulled over, forgive me. I was at the Comedy Cellar,
Same thing.
and I had to take a whiz, and so I didn't want to, you have to navigate through the audience.
Audience,
And
right.
sometimes you're just fucking not in the mood.
Yeah.
So I decided, all right, I'll just go around the corner, and I'll take a, fucking leak around the corner. Well, there's an outhouse there, construction outhouse.
Right.
But it's locked. It's locked, right? So I'm like, all right, fuck it. I'll just take a, piss on the side of the fucking outhouse. That's civilized. And I kid you not, a fucking taxi rolled up with 5
I know what you're
fucking
talking about.
cops.
Yep.
What?
And I was like,
Yep.
yeah. With 5,
Unbelievable.
like they were, or at least 4 deep. And they went, boom, they came out. They're like, well, they gave me a ticket, whatever they call it there in New York. A
Small
summons.
penis ticket?
No. A summons, I think they call it.
Rape.
There's something, I forget what they call it in New York, but it's a little different. It's
Child molestation.
misdemeanor ticket. But yeah, I'm not kidding. But that kind of fucking blew me away. They
Next
came out,
to a school.
and they just all bebopped out of the taxi, and they showed me their badges.
Yeah,
and
I know that
whoa.
because do you know Ben Bailey, who's hosting that? He used to host Cash Cab.
Yeah,
Ben, he hosts some other TV show now, some big show on.
yeah,
some-
NBC. He's
Yeah.
got another primetime thing.
Ben Bailey, one time, some fucking like meth head tried to like attack him or something. And so he went in, he goes, call the cops, call the cops. So we went and called him inside the cellar. This guy's like threatening him across the street. Fucking taxi pulls up. 3 cops jump out, come over to us, but they're undercover. One's wearing one of those yellow Sony Walkmans. And she goes like this. She goes, are you the guys that called the cops? And I'm like, yeah. And she just goes into her wrist like a watch and goes, okay, we found the guys. And I'm like, this is so fucking cool. Wow. And,
Yeah. It
And then
blew
they
me
just-
away. I thought it was I thought it was cool too.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that's fucking sweet. That's so fucking unexpected. You're just a fucking cab with 4 fucking, drunks in there. No, that's weird. You're stopping right here.
You know how you
have
know they were
guns
cops?
out.
You know how you know they're cops? One of them's black, one of them's white.
Well,
Whenever I see a black guy and a white guy in a car together, I'm always like, cops.
but they got old school flatfoots. Like
Because it's
in
not
New York.
possible otherwise. That
Yeah.
they had to be put together.
Some guy wrote an article in GQ called "I'm looking for a black friend." And there was a guy who realized that like he wasn't racist, but none of his friends were black. So he went on Craigslist and said, "I'm looking for a black friend," and it was this whole thing about trying to like.
Was it Byron Allen? was that Byron Allen making that?
Because he's not a racist.
He only has white friends.
Right.
Explain who Byron Allen is.
Byron Allen is the host of
he's
a
a good
TV show called Segways Unleashed. And if you've ever had the pleasure of doing the show, he doesn't listen to your jokes at all. He just all he has to do is create segues. And when I did the
Right.
show, Tommy Davidson was on, and so was I forget who our other guys were on with me, but I told an AIDS joke, and right after I told the AIDS joke, he looks at me, listens to the punchline, and then goes, it was something like everybody in Africa has AIDS or something, and he looks at Tommy Davidson and goes, so Tommy, you have a great Tyrannosaurus Rex impression. Like, he doesn't even listen. He just goes to the next joke. Because he writes down, you're supposed to give him 10 jokes on paper or whatever, and then you do the bits, and then he knows when you're done with the joke and goes to the next person.
I kid you not. I fucking gave him that. I was working on the show, and he wanted to be. This is exactly what happened. I kid you not. I just did Greg Giraldo's
He's not kidding, by the way.
pilots.
Yeah.
It was the most bizarre timing, though. So Giraldo was going to take over Tough Crowd for Colin Quinn. They're just going to kind of rename the show, but it would have the similar
Right.
format. And Giraldo was very passionate about keeping things, topical and smart and honest, right? So, but funny. And so the shows don't get picked up. Colbert's gets picked up, his doesn't. That's when Colbert was in pilot. So I get to L.A., and my manager's like, hey, you want to work on this show with Byron Allen, blah, blah, blah. He's putting together this show. I said, sure, as a writer. Byron Allen comes to the room and he says, here's the idea. It's like politically incorrect, but with comics, right? I said, oh.
Politically
you mean
correct.
Yeah.
Incorrect was all
I
comedy.
said,
Right.
yo.
Yeah.
I go, you mean like Tough Crowd? No, nothing like Tough Crowd. It's
Crowd.
exactly like Tough Crowd. What are you talking about? And so I just used notes from the Giraldo project to pitch to him. And then what happened?
You used the notes that you used for Giraldo show to.
Yeah, because we were everything was on
'Cause
point.
you're lazy.
Are fat people a victim, or are they a minority? Like we had some similar things like that. And it was the girl, Shivo, forgive me, she had just perished.
Terry Shivo.
Terry Shivo, right?
Yep.
So
Perished?
expired. And
Did she,
so,
did she ever die? Did they take her off?
Yeah.
They
she's
disconnected
Is that-
Shivo?
Yeah.
Dead. Yeah.
Did
She's
they?
dead. We would still be hearing about it if she was alive. She's dead.
Yeah, she was gone. But anyways, nonetheless, so finally I say to him, because I realize the other writers I'm with, they don't know jack shit about politics.
She's kind of hot. We're looking at her picture right now.
Wait, there's a comic.
Oh, she was stunning,
was
by
hot.
the way. Yeah, yeah.
And by
She
hot,
was
I mean
actually-
sweaty. She just looks
was-
sweaty.
No, look at that first picture. She was
She was
actually
hot.
beautiful. She's a good.
No, she
good
looks hot in the
attractive-
middle one.
Right.
There's a comic that used to run like a blog site called Doing the Shivo.
No.
And she would take pictures of people who were caught in a Shivo-like picture. And people would submit them. See if you can find that.
That's really funny.
Yeah, it's awesome. Well, I forget.
Why did she pull silly faces?
No, so I broke it down to Byron
Oh, is
Allen.
this story still happening?
No, let me just tell you. Because I
Christ.
feel responsible for this.
You really are
travesty.
filling in for Jason.
No, I feel bad for
Story
this
started in
travesty.
'85 when he first moved out here.
So I said to him, I go,
Where are we right now?
I go, every comic has 5 minutes of material. I don't give a shit who they are, how long they've been at everyone has 5 minutes.
I have 4.
Just lob over
Not
the,
Neil Brennan.
Just lob over the setups. Just lob over the setups. And so that's what transpired into Comics Unleashed. He just would toss over the setups.
So it's
he
your
has no
fault that
segue.
I had to sit there.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he ran with it. He kind of realized he was like, "Fuck, yeah, you're right." There's most comics don't know what's going on topically and politically, or what's.
Did you do his
actually-
newest show?
Right. I did. That was great. That one wasn't bad. That was in Santa Monica. That
Yeah, I bombed so bad.
Yeah.
I've never bombed
Well,
like
it's a
that in my
paid
life.
audience, so
they
sometimes they
paid-
get burned out and they got to watch 5 shows. So you want to be somewhere in the middle.
They bust an audience in from like a homeless shelter, and they put them in the crowd, and then they pay them, and so these people all come, and then they put me up right before lunch. These people were waiting for lunch, and I went up and did homeless jokes. And afterwards, they're like, half of them are homeless. Why would you do jokes? Is that doing the Shivo? Yeah. The Pope.
The Pope doing the Shivo. There's something great about that.
That's
Really
a dead
good.
pope too.
Oh, it is?
Oh, that's John Paul.
Yeah.
Well, that's that whole time.
That's right before they pulled the plug on him.
We lost the Pope. We lost Terry Shivo, the Minutemen. Like it was all.
The
I mean, it was like yesterday. It was like 5 years ago.
The Minutemen?
What are you talking
Yeah,
about?
the Minutemen movement for the illegal immigration. Remember the fucking Minutemen?
Gene-
And now they've just like evaporated.
Only you and the two other Mexicans in this room know what you're talking about.
That's half this room, motherfucker.
Yeah, but actually,
You know what he's talking about?
Yeah, please.
do you know? Do you know
know
about
what
the
he's-
Minutemen?
No.
I
Ernie,
remember the Minutemen.
You do?
They were going to run point basically at the border and keep out the illegal immigrants.
Who was?
These Minutemen, yeah.
Oh, like it was like
They were
fucking-
trying to be a modern day Minutemen.
like
in
militia.
terms of- yeah.
And they were gonna
yeah.
fucking like just blast them.
But they were a bunch of retards. You know, they lived in Mission Viejo and Laguna de Gale. And they had these.
So it was like white supremacist shit.
It was, yeah. It were a bunch of suburban guys, right?
Yeah, we're gonna drive down there in their
Yeah.
Range Rovers.
And they're for America, you know.
Thousands.
I don't think suburban is a word, by the way.
How did you get in?
You know, my family's been here a long time, about 100 years almost now.
Really?
Yeah, my parents were born in East LA, and their parents were all born in Mexico, but they came over in the early 1900s themselves.
When did you get the accent?
I picked them
Are
up.
you a spec?
He's only been here a day.
Actually, I'm a Wiener.
Who's the comic that came over that did not Carlos, he came from Honduras.
Carlos, yeah.
No,
Ned.
the other comic. What's the comic that came in through the trunk of the told it on Marin's podcast?
Oh, he's
trunk
not
of the
really a comic, though. That's you're talking about Ask a Mexican? Gustavo?
No, I think it's Willie Barcena or something.
Oh, Barcena.
Some nigger.
Yeah, Barcena.
That's how all the black people got in the country, through
No,
Mexico.
Barcena. No, Barcena. I think. Yeah, he might have been an immigrant. I don't know. It's hard for me to keep track because everyone has kind of a different story.
Oh, Jim Jeffries?
Yeah.
Jim Jeffries is that?
He's illegal. No, he just got his green card, everyone.
Some rock hate.
Ah, very nice.
Jim is actually finally legal. So now he can really fuck up.
How long have
He
you
towed the line for a while.
How long has Jim
would-
been here for? How many years you been
3
here?
years or something? You been in the country 3 years?
Nobody's really tapping away over there.
And you were able to get your green card? That's pretty nice. And you originally
I'm allowed here now. Time to drink and drive.
Oh, like you could get a DUI now and you wouldn't get kicked out. He just thumbed up. He just
Two
thumbed
thumbs
up.
up.
And
Well-
Gene has taught you how to do it correctly. Gene just helps people.
Now,
Jim, you're originally from Catalina Island?
Chuck, I didn't know. Chuck is
Why not? Yes.
too late. Too late. Chuck is formerly director, producer of Arrested Development.
All right.
It's
Sure.
I'll take it.
Created the show?
Gene, will you take that credit too?
I was a co-producer as well.
You were co-creator.
I tried to get
Actually,
Gene
Chuck,
a
yeah,
a
to his
job on
credit,
that
yeah.
show.
You were
Thank you, by the way.
co-creator of Comics Unleashed.
It's an end credit. It goes
Oh
by
my
very
God.
quickly at the end.
Can you imagine if that was your credit?
Negates your resume, yeah.
Yeah.
He created Arrested Development. You create Comics Unleashed. You wouldn't be friends.
I like that just that they're
man.
unleashed. It's comedians sitting down doing their bits.
Yeah.
Yeah, as he lobs over.
They're out of
yeah.
control.
The best is when Tosh went off on him.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, he did some because he would do a monologue and it was always like ripped
Right.
off jokes and stuff.
Horrible.
Right.
He did some joke about having bad credit, and Tosh goes, "Stop!" He's like, "You're a millionaire.
He's got a lot of money.
Oh, I love it.
You don't have bad credit." He's like, "You don't have bad credit." He's like, "Stop! Can't do that joke." And he was like in the middle of his monologue, and he's like, "Tosh, like, I'm not going to accept it."
That's great.
I mean, I think Byron Allen's worth $50 million if he's worth a
Really?
penny.
That
Yeah.
much?
Yeah.
Because he owns all these shows.
Yeah, and
I
he
mean,
owns
to his
these
credit,
HD
he does. He
networks
puts
that
them
he bought,
together and
yeah.
he owns them. It's
Fucking
crazy. Crazy money.
Yeah. He it was.
Let's
fun-
go back to me and my Emmy. I drove all the way down here. Want to get some of that in.
Tell us about you, Chuck.
Well,
Where did it all begin?
I came into this country in a trunk, crossing the border at Tijuana. And the next thing I know, I'm a writer, producer, director.
Where are you from?
Illinois, originally.
Which part?
Pekin, Illinois.
Where is that?
It is across the Illinois River from Peoria. Peoria is...
I've been there. Big Al's.
I don't know what that means, but
That's a strip club there.
oh, okay. Peoria?
Yeah.
Not Pekin. Yeah.
No, I've been to Peoria a bunch of
Right.
times.
Peoria is probably like 70% black. It's a very large black population.
That's why I
Peoria.
was there.
You go across the river into Pekin, all white.
I think the strip club or the other strip clubs across the river. Why do I know there's two?
You know what's great about Peoria is
Nothing.
for a long time they would utilize that as a barometer as far as are the people in Peoria going to get it, and they would use that would be like the common city, right, for the Midwest.
That's great. Back to me. So,
But Richard Pryor and Sam Kinison are from Peoria.
Really?
Yeah. So it's not that
Did you start comedy in Peoria?
no, Pekin is where I'm from.
Pekin. Did
the
you
great thing about Pekin is
'Cause they've got a-
it's
But you
all
were
white.
Peoria adjacent.
Yeah. You could say-
You were on the bus route.
Pekin, Illinois is this crazy little place. Up until I think it's 82. Somebody wants to look it up. The high school mascot, Pekin High School, was the Pekin Chinks.
Chinks?
Chinks.
Chinks.
Yeah.
Like chinks in the armor.
Just tell us about your MU.
No, Chinks, like,
Chinks,
Chinks.
like Asians.
Pekin is named Pekin because it's on
Peking
the same
duck?
Peking, China. It's on the same
Okay.
side of same latitude, longitude. So somebody, let's call it Pekin, and then they were all fine with it
Till how long?
till I think it was 82. There's the that used to be the shirt that they're showing. That's not. I have a ski cap with it on there. There it is. I mean, this
Wow.
is a great high school basketball team. Like they win.
Now
state
they are
champ-
called the Slopes.
Was your mascot Bobby Lee?
No, but it could have been.
Did you so 82 they had to change
I
it.
think it was 82, yeah. I mean, that's just insane. That you traveled all over the place. A big state, high school,
Wow.
championships, everything.
I
They would
remember
go to
that-
Chicago. They would come to Pekin Chinks. Everybody in Illinois was totally cool with it.
I remember when everyone got mad about the tomahawk chop.
Right.
Remember when that happened?
Yeah.
Drew Carey had a joke about it. He's like, if you're going to get mad about that, I have one thing to say to you. You should have fought harder.
I follow the Munich Jews.
All two of them. Jesse's going to tell.
Now the Peking chinks.
No. Oh,
The Peking.
Oh, Jesse
chinks,
can't hear anything.
no. So we can make all the Jewish jokes we want.
Got it.
We don't have any Jewish listeners.
But were they like victorious?
What?
What?
I understand you have an Emmy.
What did you
Was
get your
who
Emmy
vic-
for? Arrested Development?
Arrested, yeah. Yeah.
Was that after it got canceled? Was that the
No, it was the first season, and I signed on originally as a consultant, just a title thing, because I wasn't getting paid my normal quote. And after we did the pilot and we started making the episodes, there was a timeline there where you can't, as a consultant, you don't win an Emmy. You have to have I think it starts at supervising producer title, or just producer title.
Wow, that's
so
a
if you're
shame.
consulting producer, that's considered like part-time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I changed my title and I convinced another writer to do it. I said, it's worth it. Forget the fucking money, forget the quote. Like that's going to fuck up your quote. I said, I think it's going to win. I just had
So it was better to take a step down,
well, it wasn't even a step down. It was just a different title.
but you got less money.
No, same money.
Oh, okay.
Changed the title and then we were nominated.
That's
like
great.
a week later.
I give myself titles all the time, too.
Yeah.
And you started in the mailroom at Arrested Development.
Yeah, that's right.
Gene, what's your title?
I am a co-op president.
What was your title at Segways Unleashed?
Segment producer.
Were you?
Yeah.
Were you segment? I
Yeah.
never saw you there when I was there.
I was there to launch the show. And then
This
after
show
that,
will win a potty.
This show's gonna win a potty.
And then after that, he didn't bring me back in.
He
was
never
kinda-
brought you back after the first.
No, I was kind of pissed. I was like, really? Like, it wasn't a lot of money. It was like $1,000 a week, maybe $1,250, but it wasn't like crazy money. But
So you only got a week.
I kind of like being in town. I think I worked there for 2 weeks, and that was
What, Chuck? What did you do before Arrested Development that got you into Arrested Development?
Well, I mean, stand up, for 12 years or whatever. But then I started writing. I took time off of stand up to make money and get an award.
Tell me how that works.
Get friends with shows.
So you just were doing stand up and you went straight to Arrested Development?
No, that's not true. I went through several shows before
okay.
that. Yeah. a friend of mine, Carol Leifer, got a show
I
on
know.
WB Network when that was
All right,
supposed
already.
to be some. That's what it was called.
Is that what it was called?
It was called that. Yeah.
I saw her recently on Funny People. I was just watching the movie again.
Oh, yeah.
And I saw her sitting at that table with, it's Bud Freeman, the owner of a lot of the improvs. Who else is at the table?
George Wallace, I think?
George Wallace,
Yeah.
and they're ripping on Monty
Hoffman.
Monty Hoffman.
right.
And then there's one guy at the table I don't know. Far Side. What the fuck? You know what this is? It's because you're doing double time at the Todd Glass show. Yeah. Maybe if you could just concentrate and focus all your time on this podcast where you make no money, instead of working on 2 podcasts at one time. He works on the Todd Glass show also.
Okay.
And
Todd Glass is an actor? Or?
Oh boy.
did you hear Todd today?
Todd Glass just came out.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that true?
Yeah.
Wow.
On Maron's show.
Oh, I thought that was what it was going to be. I saw it on Facebook, and he made that update that Todd Glass was going to say something substantial,
Like, what did you think it was gonna be?
life-changing.
Right. Yeah.
And I thought, well, maybe he'll actually do that. But to me, I don't.
Here it comes.
Cocksucker.
No, I don't give a shit. It's none of my fucking business. And when someone
Oh, it's
chooses
all
to
of our
come out,
business.
Yeah.
no, but if someone chooses to
Todd
come
Glass
out or
does.
not come out, that's their prerogative.
Is there something you'd like to say?
Yeah.
No,
do it on our
I'm
show,
fine.
please. We need the ratings. Just do
All
it,
right,
Gene.
I'll tell you this: I've had less than 4 cocks in my mouth.
Come out, you fag.
Just do it, Gene. Hey, post it on Facebook right now. Gene Pumpa has something really important to say.
That's hilarious.
Has had less than 4 cocks in his mouth, and not even a half in his ass.
And he wears gay lesbian shoes.
Those are gay lesbian shoes.
No, good for Todd. I think that's great.
No, I do too. But yeah, it was like I already knew. It was like what do they call a spoiler?
Right.
Like
Yeah.
when they put it on Facebook, I'm like, oh, I know what's gonna happen.
He looked so normal.
You don't understand. You can't make jokes.
But I think with some gay people and stuff, they're getting fed up with the whole marriage hypocrisy and
Yeah.
things of that nature. And as they get
They
older,
they are getting fed
yeah,
up.
stop,
and they
stop
know-
calling them
no,
they people.
But they know
They-
there's generations
those
underneath
people.
them. No, because there are some parallels, with like Mexican Americans and gays and blacks and whatever. I'll tell you where it starts to it gets a little too
I think
wide.
he's sobering up.
No, when it gets a little too wide is when they that big thing with transgender with
They all
working it on
smell.
ABC. Remember that they were the transgenders were mad because of the ABC sitcom?
Yeah.
Working it?
Yeah.
You're like, fucking really? Like
They should
that?
be mad just because it's a bad fucking show.
Right.
Has nothing to do with the guy in the dress.
Yeah.
Horrendous.
I watched the pilot. I mean,
Why?
I literally because I wanted to make sure that it was as bad. I wanted to just double check, make sure they didn't get anything
John-
right.
And it was Booze and Buddies and Some Like It Hot. It's like it was kind of an easy switch. Mrs. Doubtfire and fucking Tyler Perry.
Tootsie.
And all of a sudden, yeah, Tootsie. He's like, really? All of a sudden now it's this super offensive situation disguising yourself.
John Caparillo was on Chelsea lately, and he got introduced as the only guy not in drag on Working It or whatever.
Is he in
That
the
was his
show?
yeah, I guess he's on the show.
Yeah,
Well, he was
bit
because
far.
it's done after 2.
it's done already.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so
yeah,
he
it's
got
done.
canceled.
Oh, the show's done.
Yeah.
It's too bad. You'd think that would have worked. An '80s show with a '90s name. with a
In 2012?
right 2012 show from the
Here's
'80s
the pitch,
Cutting edge.
with a phrase from the '90s.
but not as edgy.
I like the other drag show, Whitney.
You really can't tell she's a dude.
For years, I really thought that she was a woman. I was like, no, like when I used to watch her do stand up, I'm like, I would have fucked her. I definitely would fuck her. And then when Jim told me she was a guy, I was like, you're lying. He's like, no, I know her agents. And oh, sorry.
Oh, he's just checking his email.
I thought Anonymous had something good to say. No, there was something. Yeah, see?
Yeah, that's a picture of Whitney. She seems. I don't know her at all.
So you
She
can't
seems-
see her cock. What are you talking
She
about?
I
seems
know
nice.
her. I know her. She's a really nice person.
Yeah,
She is very funny and very talented. The first time I saw her, I was blown away. No, listen,
I saw
sitcoms
here
don't-
Chelsea fuck 2 gay men.
Wait, say that again. Say that again, Anonymous. It didn't work.
Oh.
Sitcoms don't
Work.
transcend. Yeah, they don't. Seinfeld was kind of an anomaly in that
Yeah.
regard. And same with Gary Unmarried.
Now he's still unmarried, even though the show's not on, right?
Oh my God, Gary Unmarried.
Unmarried.
No, the laugh track thing. The studio
Yeah,
audience.
the studio audience.
Really?
Can't take
Still?
it. Can't take it.
Still. Like, I can't believe they still do it.
Right.
And they're there, and they're happy sometimes.
Now that I believe.
Yeah, keep
that
doing
was
it.
real.
Oh,
No,
who put
there we
this
go.
up?
Oh, man. Here we go.
Rob.
This is an interesting
Oh.
situation.
This is going to be.
My agent pitched me this. We want to pitch you over there, and I said, "What is?" I had him explain it. What's the show? And he explained it. And I said, "What? No. I don't, what would I want to write on that show for? I don't know anything about anything you just said."
It's a Mexican. My girlfriend was trying to explain it to me the other day. She goes, the Mexican guy that's like the. She goes, he's the Mexican Jim Carrey that's on the Rob Schneider show, and I go, Cheech. I go, he's not the Mexican Jim Carrey. She goes, no, the other guy. There's a guy who in Mexico.
Eugenio. Yeah.
What's his name?
Eugenio, I forget his last name. But
Velez.
No, but everything they do in Mexico,
Gonzalez?
as far as their comedy, it's very big. Yeah, Derbez. Yeah, you're right.
Rodriguez.
Oh, there it is.
But everything they do is very big, and you can kind of tell on the show he goes
Spec
a
the
little.
beaner.
He goes a little.
I mean,
he goes a little big.
He does.
That
Who
show,
does? Who
I'll tell you
does?
why the show it could be a great show, and not even a great show, just a solid.
If it was starring someone else and about something
no
else.
from a business model,
on a different set.
No, it's an untapped
With different
audience.
writers.
No, but
Robert?
what you have is you've got all white writers on a show that's about Mexican Americans, and so some of their references are just completely off point. They don't make sense.
They should have gays read.
Like they'll talk about empanadas, right? We don't eat empanadas. Mexican Americans don't eat. We eat taquitos, we eat tacos, we eat burritos.
Oh.
It's like you don't bring an Argentinian delicacy into our culture and pretend it's part of our culture.
You're very angry about this. Jesus.
Well, because I have a young daughter, and I kind of wouldn't mind some more positive images of people on there that are just quirky Americans.
Well, and what
happen
sort
to
of
be
image
Shut
are
up,
you to her?
Lopez.
What's that?
What sort of image are you to her? You're a positive.
I'm
image?
very edgy, and I see a lot of.
She reads your Facebook posts. They're disgusting.
Yeah, she likes them.
You say you want to wear a dress.
Sometimes she'll share them.
She's going to listen to this and hear about your three cocks that you had.
No. She knows about that. We have a very open relationship. We have
Obviously.
a complete open line of communication.
I've met her. She's the adult in this relationship.
Thank you.
She take care of you.
Sometimes.
She have to put daddy to bed.
Change your diaper.
No, it's not like that. No.
I remember the first.
No, I'm actually very. I don't fuck around with that only because I'm a pretty hardcore disciplinarian.
Yeah, I
and
can tell.
I just am, believe it or not.
Kinky.
I
Do you
have an
walk
alter
around in
ego.
short shorts and those boots? I remember the first time I worked with you in Tempe. We worked at the Tempe Improv, and I walk in, and they have a law at the Improv in Tempe, or in Arizona
It's
altogether.
a fake law, by the way.
Fake law,
Yeah.
where they say
I mean, if it was a fake law.
the comedians are not allowed to perform on stage, not allowed to have alcohol on stage, or bands, everything. So they tell you this, and I'm like, are they fucking serious? They're like, yeah, you're not allowed.
No.
I look at Gene. He's got like a fucking plastic cup full of wine, and he goes, it's a real problem for me here because I'm kind of a wino.
Those are my Chardonnay Gene Pope.
Why not just a Starbucks cup up there? Or was this
Hard to
developed
find
later
it's hard to find a Starbucks
in Arizona?
in Arizona. Yeah, they're still into the Winchells. Here's where
So
I knew it was
I
bullshit.
remember we did the show together, and then somehow I ended up like everybody went out to party, and I ended up back with you,
yeah,
and we just drank together.
and I could have got some tail, and you cock blocked me. You said,
It was just you
I
two.
just
and
laughed.
that?
I just laughed
Yeah.
so hard I farted.
and he tried to convince me that these two chicks were gonna have a menage a trois, right? And the owner,
Wait, Eddie did this?
what?
Wait, what
Are
happened?
you farting now, Gene? What's going on?
No, I'm good.
Mentally.
Who was
No.
the owner then?
We were Jordan Rubin.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Jordan Rubin looked like he was gonna get some tail.
Right.
And then you said, Gene, you might be cock blocking it. That's what it was. And you said, I think he might be having a menage a trois in the mix. I'm like, there's no fucking way. Because first of all, Jordan Rubin, he's a little nebbishy. He's not going to fucking close something like that, right? And I love Jordan. Don't get me wrong.
Right.
Sounds
But I
like
know
it.
he's not like
You had to get that in there.
But he's not. He's not a hardcore.
No, he's not a
dragon
dragon slayer.
Right. And so
Which is surprising with a name like Jordan Rubin. You would think he would really get some.
Eddie had been checking me out all night. And he said, let's go back to your place. He did. Tell me what's like
This
to be
is,
a
by the way, this show is gayer than Todd Glass's show.
And he said,
Way gayer.
and Eddie said, tell me what it's like to be a co-headliner. And I said, that's pretty much all.
And the next thing you
And
know,
then I did it,
No,
and I realized he's a very accomplished comic.
and there, right there, Jordan Rubin, if you're
and a good man.
listening, you know I was the best fucking wingman ever because I pulled this leech off the swim.
You're right.
I swear to God, I think that's
I
what
could
I
have
did.
closed one of those.
I think Gene was, and I was like, Jordan's like, please help me. And I'm like, all right, I'll go back and drink with Gene.
Well, the good thing is Gene's not married.
No,
Wait a second.
No, we just got back.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we just got back
happens
7
a lot.
years ago. Hey,
This
now.
happen- This happens a lot.
You're married again?
Yeah, no, I've always been married.
Are you sure?
I'm 6 years in my marriage. I'm 6 years in my marriage.
Okay.
And
But
how old is your daughter?
My daughter's 16. We've been together 17 years.
Wow.
Yeah, my wife and I.
Was it a surprise when you proposed?
It was a surprise when she put the bear traps around the bed and said, we're just going to fuck, no strings attached. And I got a phone call 2 months later. That was a bigger surprise. That was probably the biggest surprise of my life.
Is that how all Mexicans do it?
No, we're progressive.
Wait a minute. No Mexicans get married before they have a kid, though.
My mom was a virgin bride.
Really?
Absolutely, yeah.
So is Tim Tebow. You know Tebow's a virgin?
Yeah, I believe it.
It's fucking weird.
It's very weird, that whole bird. Who was that Laker? Michael Cooper, remember?
Was he one?
Till it's like 38 or
It
something.
was AC Green.
Oh, AC Green.
It's just fucking
Right.
weird.
Yeah.
Like people said, like that's why you play sports.
Right.
Here's what I
What
listen,
motivates
I don't mind. I don't mind. Listen,
I'm saving myself for T-Bow.
I'm not an anti-Christian.
I think his name should be T-Bow.
I don't have a problem with Christians that are like real Christians. I'm talking about people that aren't hypocrites. They're not self-righteous. Their God, Jesus, is a God of love and grace and mercy, and so that's fine. No, but seriously, morning.
Oh, sorry, I dozed off for a second. I'm sorry.
No, but I don't have a problem with that. It's when someone takes that and they politicize it and they go, "Oh, God said you have to do this or you have to do that." It's like, no, any God is not about that. And you're a human being. You're not a God, so who are you to judge anyone?
Yeah,
Thank
I-
you.
It becomes about their ego, which is exactly the opposite.
Right,
of what
right. They wanna
religion
be
or
right.
Christianity is supposed to be.
I'd love to be.
Are we on the Ardent Atheist right now?
Around.
In the God.
Is that a show? The Ardent Atheist?
Yeah. Emery does a show called The Ardent Atheist.
Interesting.
And I've been on it. Jim's been on it. Jim's a bit. I'm not like I'm just a fucking nothing. Jim's a super atheist, and he's doing a convention in. He's playing like the atheist convention
Nice.
in Australia, and they're paying him fucking massive amounts of money. And when I heard that, I'm like, I will say fuck you,
Yeah.
God,
Right.
for that kind of money.
Oh, let me ask you a question. Seriously.
Seriously.
What's the fundamental difference between an agnostic and an atheist?
Agnostic doesn't have any balls.
Yeah, that's what I am.
Atheist, right.
Yeah.
Atheist.
Oh, agnostic is sort of
Yeah, but I can-
uncommitted?
Agnostic, you're hedging your bets.
Right, but I can defend my case as an agnostic.
I'd like to hear it.
Here's what it is. I'm not saying there's a God. I'm saying there's 140 billion estimated universes in this galaxy. I don't know what the fuck there is. I've been on drugs where
You're more
I've
of a
gone to
Trekkie.
places where I don't know what the fuck. I don't know if I'm here right now.
Right.
I don't know what the fuck's going on. I'm not
That
saying
was Gene driving here.
That's like saying I might like cock.
Keeping in the tone of the gayest show, gayest podcast ever.
we were going to call the show Almost Gay.
I think you can lose the almost.
Well, Andy Dick was here one day and it went the other way.
Yeah. I bet.
Anyway, but I'm just saying I don't fucking know anything. I
Right.
don't know if I'm here right now. I don't know I don't know what's going on.
Well, you are here.
But I don't even know that. Maybe it could
I'm
be just
clearing
like,
that up for you. You're here.
how do
And
you
you're an
mean?
animal. You're just an.
Right, but there's no rhyme or reason to anything. So
Right.
like the whole idea of God is imaginary. right? I agree with that.
Right.
But the whole, but what like is out there? I don't know.
When
what
you die,
yeah, I don't know what the fuck happens.
you don't.
I'm not
you,
saying
don't, you,
that-
don't, you don't have
but
an idea.
I don't believe in any kind of heaven or hell.
Right.
I'm just saying it's probably something unfathomable.
You think there's a
that
universal
was a hard
power
word to
of
say.
very,
faith
very
or-
black.
Don't say that. That scares me.
I know. Scary, isn't it? That's why most people aren't atheists. That
When Eddie dies, we all dance.
well, that's what we're gonna do.
Arj Barker made me read a book about this dude wrote a book about Jeffrey Long. Dr. Jeffrey Long wrote this book about like near-death experiences, and he interviewed people from all over the world, from like children to adults to blind people, and they all had these commonalities, these 8 commonalities between their near-death experiences, and he listed them in the whole book, and it just fucking gave me panic attacks.
Yeah.
Like I was
Sure.
reading it just going, oh, this is fucking terrifying.
Did the blind guy see a white light? That's all I want to know.
Yes.
Wow.
The blind guy was describing the same shit. A blind guy or blind people that had never had sight.
Wow.
Were describing the same shit that that people that could see, and like people from Brazil that didn't, or like in the middle of the jungle that had never been to civilization, like little children explaining.
It the rouge of adrenaline.
It's like he's saying rush of adrenaline, like
right.
the DMT,
Like going into shock.
They could claim it's
Right.
the DMT thing too,
Right.
Because
right. Okay, we solved that. What's
yeah.
next?
It's like a death placebo.
yeah, kind of.
Very good, Gene.
Not really.
How was that?
That's why he got Arrested Development and you got Comics Unleashed.
I tried to get Gene on Arrested Development.
Yes, he
Really?
did indeed.
Yes.
Yes.
Got him a meeting, and he
Yep.
blew it.
Can we hear that story?
No, it went well. It went well. The
He
guy
came
was
in
Oh,
and
it
just-
went very well. You
and-
drove off the lot and never came back. It went great. That's how meetings should go.
I'll tell you, and I don't mean to dissect it like this, but it was under the auspices of the Minority Writers Program,
Right.
And they wanted to go black. They wanted to go African American. They do that a lot because Hollywood has a very dense sense of what that
Color?
diversity is. So Asians and Latinos are traditionally kind of not considered in the same capacity.
Weren't brought over here
They're
in
so
slavery?
white that the only way that to them that implicates or whatever shows diversity is black. So we have to go right to black. But
You're not
That's all-
nigger enough.
so I mean, it's true. It's just the way it is. And then I found out from someone that worked on the show that the guy they brought in went to go work for Chris Rock's show and got fired. So like sometimes
Are you
know,
making excuses
true,
for why
actually.
you didn't get the job?
No, that's what. No. I'm telling you, even here, this was fucking kick my ass. The guy, fuck it, I don't know. I'll never work there again. But thank you, by the way. I don't mean to be disrespectful. But the guy, Mitch Hurwitz,
Right.
he goes, so you're like a minority of some sort, right? During the meeting, and I go, yeah, I'm a Mexican American, American of Mexican descent. He's like, what is that exactly? I go, I'm just an American of Mexican descent. I'm
He was obviously
I'm
messing with you.
Latino, and no, but he was on a disconnect because he did grow up in Newport.
Yeah.
We were talking about growing up in Southern California. He'd grown up in Newport, so he actually part of that. There were some elements or components of that show that were autobiographical, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So he was like, "You're Mexican."
And you would meet
May
people from
Gardner.
Orange County that would be on that disconnect. Orange County, for the longest time, would have 1% black of their population.
Really?
It was obscene. A lot of Mexican Americans because of Santa Ana and Anaheim and other parts, and we're just
And it started out Mexico.
And we're indigenous, right?
Right.
So, but yeah, that was like a strange.
Now wait, this
situation.
seems to be a history for you. Didn't you let the Mexican thing get in the way of you with the Adam Sandler films too?
No, not at all.
I
No,
thought-
those were funny. Those were
Wait,
good.
which
I didn't
Adam
mind
Sandler?
those. I
You
didn't
were in
mind those
Adam Sandler.
characters.
Which film were you in?
I was in Bucky Larson that comes out tomorrow on DVD with Nick Swartzen. I played a gay, young Latino, handsome, cut and chiseled.
Typecasting.
That's that's why we booked you on this show.
Right?
Just to hear that phrase.
Hair and makeup artist.
Hold on, let me pull my cock out.
And then in the movie Just Go With It with Sandler and Jennifer Aniston,
Never heard of him.
I played a delivery guy of fake breasts. And so I had a scene with just Jennifer Aniston.
Wait, you had fake breasts?
No,
No,
I
his are
I
real.
was delivering them. No, mine are real.
I've seen them.
Ernie's aren't.
Mine are real tasty.
What
Oh,
a
was that the
great movie
computer?
that was.
That is one smart computer.
So just go with it.
Just go with it.
Was the
Yeah.
first movie of 2012
didn't.
to break $100 million, by the way.
It did get 112.
Yep, broke over 100 million.
Wow.
Sandler knows how to
first
do
movie
that.
of
He's a
whatever that
genius.
is.
2012.
He's a
He really
genius.
is.
He's a genius. And now Bucky Larson, how did that do?
That one didn't do as well.
Okay.
But Nick Schwartz is,
love Nick.
brilliant comic.
He is
You know,
a genius.
and
No,
it
no,
was
but
his
you-
first time out, and that happens.
Jack
sometimes.
and Jill for the Oscar.
Do you ever go out for parts where they're like, they don't want you to play Mexican?
Yeah.
All of them.
Fortunately, I mean, but no, actually about half. It's half and half now.
Oh, really?
Used to be much more substantial, which was kind of a pain in the ass.
It's not fair because I don't go for Mexican ever.
I'll tell you this. I did a few episodes of In Living Color, and they never asked me to play a Latino. They let me do. I played a fucking rocker and a stoner, or
Gay
forgive me, a
rocker, gay
rocker, a
stoner.
surfer, a rocker, surfer, a cop, and then just a regular guy.
What number?
No, it was 93.
Surfer number 4.
No. That one actually. You know what? That one they didn't let go to air. Fucking Fox, the censors shut the fucking sketch. It was Jim Carrey and myself and Alexandra Wentworth.
You
right?
did a sketch
yeah.
with Jim Carrey.
Yeah, and she had married George whatever
Stephanopoulos.
Stephanopoulos, yeah. So the sketch is black blocker sunglasses, and so she's a spokesperson, and she's selling these sunglasses that block out black people, so you don't have to look at black people, right?
Really funny.
So I play this surfer.
Jim wants to buy those.
Yeah. And so I put on these. I put them on, and so whatever the lines are, there's like these black guys playing
No,
chess.
come on, do the lines.
I'll just do one line. The black guys are playing checkers. These old black guys are playing checkers on the boardwalk, much like this area. And I say, and they disappear once I put the sunglasses. I go, whoa! It's like the black dude's just vaporized. Does this mean I can't watch Family Matters? Right? So that was one of the lines, right? So it was actually a cool part. But then they decided that black blocker sunglasses would be too offensive, which was strange because then you think about what Chappelle did
Right.
and other people did. That's not shit now. That would be nothing now.
Especially when it's
But
coming
back then
from
they
like
were
all
under the
black guys
microscope still.
writing it.
Right. And that was
Right.
why Jim Carrey got pissed and Keenan got pissed because they started fighting too much about this stuff. And you're like, come on, man. They're all. Oh, and also there was a tag at the end.
The youngest daughter from Family Matters went into porn.
Is that true? Wow. What's the name? What's the porn name?
If it comes to porn, Jim knows
Let's,
that it's factual.
Let's
Family
get that
Ma-
out there.
Family
Where
Matters.
Where did you find that out? Oh, I need to ask that.
In his room.
Right. I take that question back.
He takes his
That's
porn.
a crazy fact. though.
Jamie Foxworth. Oh,
Really?
God.
Wow.
Wow is right.
Didn't some famous black actor's daughter go into porn too? Yeah. And really just Lawrence Fishburne's. That was
Really?
sad.
Oh, right.
I wank of 2 young black girls.
I see. Wow. So Family Matters, doesn't it? Look at that.
What was her name? What was her character on
She
Family
could lose
Matters?
4 pounds and gain a cup.
I want to see her as a kid. I forget what she looked like.
Jesse, that's fucked up. You want to see her as a kid.
What?
Everyone's like, oh, she looks pretty hot. If she had
Speaking
bigger
of titles, now that we brought Jesse into this, what is Jesse's title? What is your title here?
Nothing.
Nothing. Well, I can negotiate something better than that.
And if we're up for a potty, you're gonna have to drop down.
As of now, I'm a consultant. As soon as we're up for an Emmy, I'll fucking I'll renegotiate.
Get up, Lawrence Fishburne's daughter. We gotta look at her. It's
my God.
it's awful.
Really?
I watched the porn and it was like I felt bad. Like
Did you?
no, I couldn't even.
Really?
It's awful. And I
Wow.
wanted to like hug Lawrence Fishburne and just go, wow, she really.
So that story just turned gay.
She didn't just fuck that guy. She fucked
She
you.
is stuck in the Matrix.
That's really hit.
Oh,
No, that's not
Is
a
that
good
her?
pic- Yeah, but that's a good picture. That's a lot
Yeah.
of airbrushing. Just put up the porn of her. Poor
does look like Lawrence Fishburne. Yeah, that's the look on his face when he found out.
Oh my God.
These jokes are going to great on the radio.
It's okay. We edit a lot of
Stuff that
dead air
makes
like
no
this.
sense.
Yeah, when we start talking about stuff, we can go off on the TV for like an hour.
Right.
Nobody knows what the fuck we're talking about.
Right.
We had a whole episode where we talked about stuff.
Is that
no
a
one-
26-inch?
Where is the pizza?
Lawrence Fishburne's? Yeah, please delete that out, Ernie. Watch out.
I want to hear some Seinfeld stories.
The 26-inch?
Oh yeah, you fucking. He opens for Seinfeld all the time. Chuck opens for Seinfeld. He could tell us everything and anything that we'd ever like to know about Seinfeld.
Could is not the right.
No, would is not the word.
Right.
Could is.
Right.
Yes.
Yeah, maybe you're right. Could is.
Yeah,
right.
I understand
Well,
that.
not is probably a better.
Yeah. Right.
I've met Jerry a few times, and it's never been a good thing.
Really?
Yeah, he came into stand up New York.
What is it with Seinfeld?
I was like
That's the right way to ask it.
I was like the house MC at Stand Up New York when he started doing stand up again. And I went
Right.
up to him one night and he came in and I said, "Hey Jerry," I said, "Would you like to go on?" And he goes, "Why else would I be here?"
Well,
Okay.
That was his intro?
Yeah, and so I said, I came back up to him
What
and
do you
I
want
go,
me to say?
"What do you want me to say?" And he goes, "Like it matters." And I went, "Okay." So I went
where's
on.
the nice guy from TV?
Yeah. So I went on stage and I introduced him. I said a lot of times on weekends we let amateurs go up and do a short bit. And I said it's very difficult for them, especially their first time on stage.
Oh, boy.
So I want you to give them,
Well,
you know.
he remembers you.
Yeah.
Oh, you
and-
did a switcheroo.
And but like when I said coming to the stage, Jerry Seinfeld, like people knew he was in town and he was doing stand up again.
Right.
This is like right after Seinfeld.
Right.
So he's at the height of his popularity. He walks in the room, like people didn't believe me, though. Yeah, whatever. And he walks in the room and people started fucking tables. They were like, "Oh my
Yeah.
God, it's fucking Jerry."
Yeah.
And so I thought very like funny, like it didn't mess up his
Yeah, yeah.
intro at
No,
all. They
no.
still were going, and I put out my hand to shake his hand, walked right by it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He didn't like that.
Yeah, that was the
Very
end.
good, Eddie.
That was the end of me and Jerry.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah. We're not going to be friends.
That's funny.
I have a question. I don't know if it's appropriate.
Nope.
But does
Like you need to say that.
Does,
You have to-
does Seinfeld drink wine or
Yes.
beer? Oh, he does. Okay.
Yeah.
So what you think? Maybe you can chum up to him now?
No, I was just curious.
Hey Jerry, I got some Chardonnay and a Starbucks
No,
cup.
he's totally. Want to go for a drive?
We should collaborate.
Does he beat his
It worked
wife?
when I went in that meeting.
I'll show you my resume. I almost was on everything.
I was almost on Arrested Development, but I wasn't black.
Instead, I went to Comics Unleashed, where they let me wear my black blockers. Tell me, you did work with Jim Carrey.
Yeah, that was great. We
Did you
worked
guys
together a
buddy
couple
up?
of times.
Were
Yeah. No, he was very nice when I first did the Surfer Stoner character. He really liked it, and then it was very authentic, and
Because I see you hanging 10.
Yeah.
it wasn't
Right by the Sand Sharks.
Well, no, because it wasn't a Spicoli. It was a different.
Oh, I thought you were doing Spicoli just now.
But nonetheless, no, it's a Honey Beach surfer subculture that I grew up with. But I'm saying he really liked the character, so he was complimentary out of his way,
Okay.
which he didn't have to be.
Right.
And then we did another sketch together where he just plays an old man in a wheelchair, and it's Michael Spinks had gone through some sort of head injury from a fight. He had beat Ali though, or I forgot who he beat, but he beats Tyson maybe, right?
Right.
So I would come in with this date, and if we knock out the champion, we got a free dinner. And so Jamie Foxx is playing the champ. This is what he's been reduced to. He's basically in front of an Olive Garden. If you knock out the champ, you get a free dinner, and that's kind of the gig. And so Jim Carrey, actually, this is actually kind of funny. Jim Carrey. Jim Carrey.
Now we
Jim
get to
Carrey's
it.
playing the old guy in the wheelchair, right? And I don't want him to rat anyone out because he's clean now. But Tommy Davidson had just gotten back from rehab, right?
Wait, which time?
Well, during the show, he had went on vacation. And then, so he came back. Everyone was very supportive. And,
Was he doing his Tyrannosaurus Rex?
It was, no, not yet. And it was very cool. And then David Allen Greer goes, he tells Jim Carrey, he goes, I offered Tommy just a small rock just to see if he's still cool, But he's got David Allen Greer. right.
Jesus.
He says that to Jim Carrey.
And it was fucking hysterical. I was like, oh my god. It was like,
Tommy Davis.
yeah.
Tommy
And
Davis.
everyone's hugging Tommy out, of course, because they're happy for him and stuff. But it was just
he's fucking
comics
on,
being comics.
He's on all the time.
What's that?
He's on.
Oh yeah. Oh, that
All
guy.
the-
Yeah. Plug him in.
And the weirdest
or not
thing
even
about
plug
him,
him in. Just hit the
He
on switch.
he wears long underwear all the time
how do you know that?
because this is a gay show.
Oh,
No, he.
is that true? Why?
I was in a dressing room somewhere with him or a makeup room, and he's like, "It's cold in here. Good thing I have my long underwear on." And it's like L.A. And I'm
weird
like,
pickup line.
and I'm like, "Why are you wearing long underwear?" And he goes, "I always wear long underwear." And I'm like,
Does he have psoriasis?
"Under your pants." I'm like, "What the fuck do you wear long underwear?" It was like
bizarre.
85 degrees
you wear
outside.
long underwear for psoriasis, right?
Yes, yeah. No, I do it to hold my figure in.
Oh yeah. Okay. Oh, so it's like his form of Spanx
Yes. He would-
to lean up because he's kind of fat.
yeah, Tommy's fucking massive.
Got a weight problem.
Yes. Okay, everybody. So that was the show. You were just listening to Mr. at Chuck Martin. No, it's his Twitter is at Mr. Chuck Martin. Make sure you add him on Twitter because we want to show him how faithful the shitheads can be. And also at Gene Pompa. Gene, GenePompa. I want to thank them for coming and being great guests tonight on the show, so much so that I want them to stick around and do another episode with us because it's fun beating on Gene. It's almost as fun as Jason. Except it's fun because he's more clever than Jason. He's funnier. He's better looking. He probably makes better coffee. He's just all around. He's a professional comedian. So those of you that love Jason, say goodbye. Jason is MIA.